The city of Rockford sets its direction to start the new year. Staff prepare major votes on projects that could add dozens of homes and opportunities for the community. Rockford City Council wrapped up its 2025 by introducing what members will consider when they return in 2026. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley charts where leaders believe momentum could grow in the area.
Daniel, city staff suggests redeveloping historic buildings and a new senior center spell out an ambitious 2026. Some council members believe voting on such projects can't come soon enough.
If I weren't obligated to stay in the 14th Ward, I would love to be living there.
Once a reporter, City Council member Mark Bonney feels impartial towards urban equity properties redeveloping Rockford's former news tower.
In the Rockford development world, I think the news tower lofts is a 72-point headline.
At 2025's final meeting, Council laid the groundwork to return next year with development agreements ready for votes.
This is significant for the growth of our entire city.
The city may toss $4 million from tax increment financing into UEP's $46 million investment in the news tower lofts.
I'm in support of this project and continuing the growth of our downtown.
Bonney believes council members could add more support to the former watch factory. Oliver Emerson Development proposes 24 apartments in the historic building.
Nobody wants to see a historic building end up where the Elks Club is right now, for example.
Rockford leaders will consider a new senior center along East State Street as well. The city would fund the project with the Northwestern Illinois Area Agency on Aging.
I think having one centralized location where seniors can go and get the resources that they need is very important.
Members plan to revisit framework for the Regrow Grant, funded by the 3% cannabis sales tax.
This gives us an opportunity to sit back at the table and really hash that out and make a significant investment into the neighborhoods.
Members also delivered final approval for the city's biggest capital improvement program yet. From 2026 through 2030, the city will invest nearly $400 million into the community's infrastructure.
And many of the development agreements could return for their first votes on January 5th, though proposals require approval in committee meetings that night before reaching a full council consideration.